Hi there, welcome to Maine Historical Society's Virtual Learning Hub. My name is Kathleen Neumann, and today we're going to be talking some food history and showing you how you can make your own butter at home in a way similar to how Mainers would have made butter 200 years ago. Life in Maine 200 years ago would have been very different from today in a lot of ways. One of the biggest differences between life in Maine in 1820 and life in Maine in 2020 is where food comes from. Today, we don't think much of walking into a grocery store or restaurant and finding all kinds of food from all over the world at all times of year. But 200 years ago, the food we ate was much more local and more seasonal than it typically is today. There were a lot of foods like coffee, tea, and sugar, luxuries that not everyone could afford, that would have been shipped to Maine from other parts of the world on boats, and some Mainers, especially those living in cities like Portland, would have gone to markets to buy meat and other goods. But many families would have grown and produced more of their own food at home and with the help of their families and neighbors than most Mainers do today. Many farms in 19th century New England raised cattle and dairy cows, and butter and cheese were part of the regular diet. In an age before electricity and refrigerators, processing milk into products like butter and cheese helped to preserve food longer. Making butter was a task traditionally done by women. When working with and storing dairy products, it was important to do that work in a space that was clean and cool. But first things first, the cows had to be milked. The milk was then left to settle in a cool place in shallow dishes where the cream would separate and rise to the top. The cream was then skimmed from the top and churned to make butter. Churning is the process of shaking up the cream to make butter and was usually done using a butter churn. Churns could be as simple as a barrel with a plunger in it moved by hand. In New England, the butter making process usually began in the early spring and would continue through early fall. Today, you can make your own butter at home and try and get a sense of what that work was like 200 years ago. The process we'll use here is pretty easy. Since most of us probably don't have a dairy cow handy, we're going to start with the cream. All you need is 1 pint of heavy cream and a clean jar with a secure lid. Pour the whipping cream into the jar and secure the lid, then shake. This can get a little tough on your arms and can take anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. So if you have other folks at home who can help, take turns passing the jar and shaking it. I actually started mine about 10 minutes ago so you could see the finished product. As you shake the cream, watch as it solidifies and turns to butter. How does this work exactly? Heavy cream has a lot of fat in it, and by shaking it, the fat molecules begin to separate from the liquid and clump together, forming a solid. That's the butter. Once your butter is finished, spread it on some bread or a cracker to taste it. You can also add salt to the butter if you like. That's all there is to it. Now it's your turn. Try making your own butter at home and let us know how it came out by commenting and tagging us at Maine History on Facebook or Instagram. To learn more about the history of food, visit our online exhibit Maine Eats at mainememory.net. If you're a teacher and want to share a Maine bicentennial inspired activity of your own, check out our